Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Anthony Brown Show. I'm yours truly, Mr. Anthony Brown, on this special edition for Father's Day. Like I said in my previous interview, a lot of black male fathers don't always get a good rap. So I'm honoring, featuring, displaying great black fathers that have come across my life in the last couple of months and years. So I'm going to showcase them here tonight, back to back. I've been doing interviews since 7 o'clock, so go back and watch the other previous interviews with Kelby Clark, based out of California and Florida. Also, I did an interview earlier with Mello, a dear friend of ours, which is no secret to the show. He's no stranger to the show. He's been on the show a couple of times. And this show right now, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with none other than yours truly, Mr. Legacy the Great. So welcome, welcome, welcome each and every one. So I guess Legacy's having technical difficulties. So give him a minute. He'll be right back with us. So we're just waiting for Mr. Legacy. We're going to ask him the same 14 questions that I asked the other individuals earlier. Here he is.
Tony.
Legacy, you with us? Are you with us?
Hello?
I hear you. I hear
okay.
you.
I don't know why my screen ain't nothing on my screen. You can't see me. I don't know why. And I ain't got the camera closed either.
Want to try going out?
Hold on, let me see something. Yep. Let me try it again.
We're having technical difficulties. Just please be patient. We're waiting for Legacy to get his act together over there. And then we'll proceed accordingly. This may or may not be my last interview for this evening, but each interview are individually great fathers that, in my opinion, that have come across my path, and I'm featuring them here on the Anthony Brown Show. Let's see here, Legacy. There he is.
Hey, everybody.
And the Lord said, "Let there be light." And I tell you, there he is.
Happy Father's Day, everyone.
Welcome to the show, Legacy. Happy Father's Day. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm blessed, and it means the world to me to be that.
Awesome. Like I was saying previously, here in the world today, especially here in America, most black fathers, black great fathers, don't get the recognition that they're so duly, should be awarded. So, in my life, the few black great fathers that have crossed my path that I've seen and noticed, I want to honor you, worship you, lift you up, and place you on a pedestal this evening. If I haven't done any time, any other time. But one of the fathers I want to like to feature on tonight, as I've done with the previous interviews this evening. Well, tonight I have none other than yours truly from the ATL show, Mr. Legacy the Great. So,
and you know what I say, don't you? ATL. You gotta listen. I gotta make sure the world know about the ATL and the whole.
Oh Lord! Happy Father's Day, Daryl. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you click that like button and subscribe. Listen, I got 14 questions and 14 questions only, so I'm coming at you strong, and we're gonna jump right in it. So you ready, Legacy?
Always. They told me if you stay They told me if you stay ready, you never have to get ready.
You got your seatbelt on?
Listen, man, I stay ready. And you know this, man.
Well, the first question. As a father, what is your superpower as a father? Because kids these days think of their fathers as their superhero, that he could do no wrong and he can always save the day. What is your superpower as a father?
I would have to say my listening and attentive skills. With me being able to listen and being very attentive to what my kids say, and what they do, it makes it a lot easier for me to have discernment and judgment in how I was gonna go about handling them and the situation.
Okay.
But because like sometimes, parents, when it comes to another adult telling you something about your child, me listening to the parent and me having an open dialogue with my especially my boys, because my girls, um I especially with Naya, me being a little bit more softer and a little bit more attentive to her, and something, as I was told that Nene was favored, so this is what I was told. But when it came to me being able to listen and being able to say, okay, I don't just run to the total agreement of another adult over my child's word. I had to get both stories, and then I was able to discern on how I was gonna enact with that situation. Because a lot of times, other parents rely on your kid, and if you that type of parent that because another adult said something that was word and that was true, you could have wronged your child based off of what another adult said. So you have to be able to be listening to both and be attentive to your children's actions. So that's what I tried to be.
Okay. Question number 2. If you could mention 3 words that describe fatherhood to you, what are they? Just 3 words.
Very empowering. Empowering.
Empowering.
Reason I say that is because you are the person that sets the tone for your boys on how they go about being a man, and you also set the tone for your daughter on what a man should look like in her presence.
What's the second word?
Courageous. You have to be able to take on obstacles that you in life that you haven't, as a man yourself, embarked on in that journey. But because of this role that you have as a father, you have to stay courageous and willing to take on any task that's at hand, task and problem.
And the third word?
I would have to say uplifting. You have to always be able to uplift your children in any matter. Even when they make mistakes, you have to still be able to discipline them. But at the same time, after the discipline, you have to be able to still uplift and motivate them that, hey, yeah, this happened and this is a setback. But yet and still, we have to keep moving and we have to get better. So you have to be able to still uplift even after the letdown.
So empowering, uplifting, and courageous.
Yes.
Okay. Question number 3. How do you balance fatherhood and your career?
I'm gonna say this. I believe that anything worth doing. I mean, I believe if it's something that really means that much to you, upon being hired on a job or in a career, you have to, always let that individual know that, there's certain things that, um, when it pertains to family, the same way that they love and want to participate in certain things in their children's lives, that your family definitely come first. And that, there are going to be times when you have to set aside um, work for family. So in the midst of that, you have to be able to search out people that understand family in order to build around that. For me, there's nothing like being able to be at work and I can go to my supervisor and say, hey, such and such happened, and he like, hey, go handle your business. And when I get done handling my business, I come back with that paperwork to show, hey, this man don't miss work unless it's pertaining to his children. So, and that don't happen often, but when it do, we have all the understanding in the world. But I think parenthood is easy to me. I think setting guidelines and rules and principles from the very beginning out the gate, especially if you don't have anybody to, like a mother or auntie or somebody to hinder what it is that you're trying to get accomplished in your children, then it's definitely an easy process.
Okay. Moving right along. Number 4. Is there ever a time that you feel overwhelmed with the challenges of being a father?
Um, Definitely yes. When again, when the other when the other person that's supposed to be um helping you and aiding you in that growth, it can become a not just a challenge, but it can become a mountain to climb. When the person that helped brought that child into the world is not an adversary and does and tries to hinder everything that you're trying to do to educate and teach your children lessons of life.
Okay. Number 5. Is there one thing in your life that you could change because it may have had a negative impact on your children or family? If so, what is it?
Um, Definitely the way I went about um being in the street. When I say being in the street, I don't mean like drugs and things because I definitely kept that aspect of my life away from them. But just how I went about um being in the streets, whoremongering, um, that was definitely not the way to go about setting the tone on how you want your boys to move and interact with other women. I definitely wish that, and even though that they're not out there like they're like I was because I was raised in a different time and era, but definitely to be able to show them what how they should definitely go about interacting and engaging and experiencing real love with a woman and not just thinking that having multiple women is the definition of um, love.
Mm. So you saying you was a whore at one point?
I said what I could say it.
You said whoremongering.
Again, I said I said.
Number 6. How does your village, family, or tribe support you or motivate you in being a great father?
Um, I'm talking about because I have a vast array of children. Um, I will say that I've always had a great support system, um, from Georgia to Florida, on helping me be the best dad I could possibly be, whether it's from their mothers or to family members that stepped in and filled in the gaps when um, I wasn't strong enough to be the man that I am today. So when it came to family and the support system, it's definitely always been there. Not just from my family, but from significant other side of the family too. They definitely did their part. They definitely made um, this job as a father a lot easier.
Okay. 7. How important is spirituality and faith in your parenting dynamic?
Um, I definitely wanted my kids to understand um that there is a God and that there is someone a higher power than that's way stronger than their dad or mom or anybody else could ever be. That it's not us that wake them up every morning. And I definitely wanted them to be able to have a personal relationship. And it had nothing to do with going to church. If they wanted to go to church, that's their thing. That if that's what they wanted to do, then that's cool. I support them in that. But if they wanted to just be home and know who God is outside of the ritual of church, then I definitely supported that as well because God is everywhere. So, um, he's in the house, he's in the closet, he's on top of the roof, he's in the trees, he's in the grass. So there's never nowhere that my kids can go that there is no God.
Mm, awesome. Number 8. Is there a woman in your life that makes your life easier?
Yes, very, very much so. Always has been there. And even when I was a fool, always. So um I believe, but it's that woman who understand that um conditional there's a thing as conditional love and unconditional love. Unconditional love never runs out. Conditional love based on circumstances runs out. But I've always been lucky enough to have that type of woman in my life.
Unconditional or conditional?
I done had both.
So the question was, do you have someone special in your life that makes
And
your
I
life?
answered yes.
And let me finish this. I'm adding to the question.
No, I don't want any add on. The
So
question
is the person conditional or unconditional currently?
always have been unconditional. So now it's not 14 questions, it's 15.
No, because I didn't click on nothing else.
But you added on. That's an add on.
Number 9. Fathers are
This is
superheroes,
why I don't like you.
and I love you.
And I love
Fa-
you too, bro.
Fathers are superheroes, but not perfect. Name one thing you would like to improve on as a father.
Um, I definitely think that my sternness. Um, like I say, my sternness, the reason that I am why I am the way that I am because um I believe that if there's no sternness from the mother, you have to have the yin and the yang. And being able to have the yin and the yang balances out love. So definitely I would like to be, and I have become a lot more softer. But there are some aspects of children and parents relationship that I'm not gonna ever bend on. but I definitely would like to be a little bit softer in my delivery when it comes to being a dad
That
or the
reminds,
superhero that you were saying.
that reminds me of my 7 o'clock interview with Kelby Clark. He was saying that fathers fail to realize that they have a feminine side, because it's X and Y chromosomes. So you have male and female chromosomes running through your body. He said sometimes we as black men, we're not in touch with the feminine side, especially because he's a father of 4 girls. You being a father of 1 girl. And sometimes he said, prior to the girls coming into his life, he was always, this hard, over masculine alpha man. Then he said when girls came in his life, mainly the second one, because second, third, and fourth one, they broke him down. The first one was a challenge because he still was trying to be, but 2, 3, and 4, he's like, okay, I give. Let's.
Right, because I mean, even now, um, I lose a lot. Um, on a one-on-one, you know, situation with my daughter, I can pull it off. But if she gets with her tag team partner, and I don't have a chance. And I don't, unless it's just something that I just deem that's just gonna be too much, then I'll stand. But most of the time I give because I like having that soft interior side of my life now. And I wanted my boys to be stern. I wanted them to be um, courageous and willing to embark on challenges of life, not be afraid of nothing, not be afraid. And I didn't want my daughters to be that way either, afraid of nothing. And they not. But at the same time, you know, I seen that my approach was totally different with my boys than it was with the girls.
Mm,
So definitely, if you really watch most of like different podcasts, and we definitely dive into different podcasts, you will see some of the biggest, strongest, toughest dads in the world crumble at the touch and the voice of their daughters.
that's true.
I mean, it's just something. I mean, and you don't want nothing to happen to them. You don't want nothing to hurt them. So definitely that. I definitely agree. But I'm not gonna say that we don't be in touch with our feminine side. But a lot we as men growing up are not. I don't think that. I think that you should understand that pain hurts, and stuff like that. But I don't think women truly thoroughly respect men that walk around with their feelings on their shoulder. And I don't think that you should walk around with a soft outer shell. The only person that should be able to get to you to be able to release those type of feelings should be your mom, should be your woman, should be your daughters or grandmama. And you should have reverence and respect to a degree for any woman outside of that, to where you won't cross boundaries to harm them as well, unless your life is in danger. But no man should walk around with a soft outer shell unless he got a soft outer shell and a soft inner shell.
Number 10, name one thing that you've learned from your parents that have implemented in your parenting.
um how to I okay. My mom was more of a no nonsense, you mess up one time, I'm gonna put my foot in your butt. But my dad was the dude that was like, now if you disrespected my mama or anybody, and they can prove it and you can't prove that you didn't, then you could automatically go to strike three with my dad. He's not going for that. But my dad was more of a, okay, that's strike one. Okay, that's strike two. Come on, you don't got to strike three. Let me go on and tighten you up. And my dad was not a person that took a belt and beat you all across your back and across your chest and across your shoulders and under your toenail and stuff. That was my mama. My dad was a person that was like, lay across the bed, let me get these. How old are you? You 12? That's how many licks you getting, and he ain't going over that. But the only way he would go over that is if you moved out of position and then he gotta start over. So I wanted to, when it came to discipline my kids, and I had to actually be physical, that I wanted to be able to implement um how
Last
to
one.
spank and how not to. So I had a version of both. And I've never been that type of dad that took a belt and spanked or beat my kids all across their back and shoulder and stuff. Like, hey, you 12, and it's hard for me. I really never could spank my daughters. I can't. It was always hard for me. It was hard for me. I felt like as a man, me doing that, I was opening up a gate for them to accept for a man, another man that this is how my daddy showed love. So a man punching me in my face or a man beat me with something, he can't be doing nothing but loving me also.
Mm, preach. 11. Who are some of the males that have influenced you in your fatherhood journey?
Oh man. Um John Stanley Williams, um, Abraham Roberts Jr. Um, I would have to say those were definitely. Oh, you said fatherly duties.
Your fatherhood journey. The question's on the screen.
Oh, fatherhood journey. Those two men, but then also you. I've ran a lot of things across you and took your opinion and it worked out as well. A lot of things, I'm a person that I tend to solve a lot of my own problems within myself. I do it internally, but and outside of God or whatever. But um, couple of I really can't say too many men, but I do have a few women that have um definitely impacted me gratefully as a father that allowed for me to grow. But men has only been really about three when it came to the aspects of being a father. Even my brother Mello, we run things cross. Matter of fact, I could say Dion, I could say Chris. We learned from trial and error. I seen some mistakes he made. They seen some mistakes I made, and we was able to come together and become better fathers by being able to have some, that type of relationship to roll things over with each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Okay.
go go ahead.
12. Share an experience that you shared with your child that caused you to become emotional.
Um, okay. It was a time when my kids here in Florida had been removed from around me. Not for reasons that I did, but for the reason that it was done. And there was a there was a moment, and it was like a 2 year period where I went without speaking to them. Not that I didn't speak to my daughter, that we, because they were 15 and 16, that we didn't communicate, and it was because of lies that was being told on the other side. And I remember sitting down. I remember it was right after I caught COVID in 2020, maybe 2020. It was 2021. And it was something I remember you telling me you need to reach out to your son and get your side of the story out. And I was like, no, I don't think he's old enough or ready for that. But I remember right when I caught COVID and I was in the room and I had 21 days to deal with COVID in the room by myself. So a lot of life issues that I was dealing with internally, I felt like God wanted me to internalize this. And I remember hearing a voice tell me, reach out to your son. And I was like, nah, man, I ain't going through all that. I ain't chasing nobody. Nobody want to be in my life. I'm okay with that. And then I remember hearing it say to me again, I need you to reach out to your son. And it just kept coming and kept coming till I said, all right, I'll do it. I'll do it. So the next day when I was supposed to have done it, I did not do it. So later that night, that voice came back to me again and said, so you're not going to do what it is that I told you to do?
Mm.
And I was like, I really just don't want to do it. Do what I told you to do. So the next day I got up and I made the call. But when I made the call, I was in the process of moving some stuff into the storage. And so when I made it, my son didn't answer it. So in my mind, it was me saying, well, see, God, I did what you asked me to do. He don't want to talk. So I went on in the storage and put the stuff in the storage that needed to be placed there. And by the time I came out of there and came back, I noticed that I had missed the phone call. And it was my son. So I called him back. And when I called back, he answered the phone, and he answered the phone with joy, love, and excitement in his voice. And we had a conversation for about 2 hours, and I was able to go ahead and clear some things up that needed to be told, because my side of the story had never been told, because I was always the type of dad that I felt like whatever me and your mom go through, it had nothing to do with my children.
Mm.
But what I didn't realize was the other party wasn't playing the same, didn't believe in the same rules that I did.
Correct.
But once we got off the phone and he cried and he was hurt because he was saying he didn't think that, he thought that his daddy didn't love him no more, and he didn't understand why. What did he do? And then I was able to tell him, no, it was never that. I've always loved you. I've always sent money. And I was able to show him proof that I always sent money. And it kind of changed. It definitely changed the dynamics. And I mean, tears came out my eyes because I'm feeling the love coming back toward me from my son. And that was one of the greatest things that happened to me in 2022. And that relationship has blossomed to great things, even to this day right here. So what I will tell fathers is, before we get out of here, is fight for yours. Fight. Because even if,
we'll get to that.
Okay.
Just share the experience that's emotional. That's all. Stick to the question. 13. How have you been supportive during the time that your child's mom went through postpartum?
I can never say that either one of them ever went through postpartum. Yeah, neither one of my kids' mothers went through postpartums of depression and felt like they didn't have the strength or love to give to either of my kids because they were depressed. So I really can't, what I'm saying? If they did, I never knew about it because their actions never showed, because they were always strong and they were always there. So I didn't get an opportunity to, or nor can I say that I participated in that.
So could it be that they went through it and just hid it?
I mean, if it's not seen or known, then I can't reply on it, because maybe they did, or maybe they didn't even know what postpartum was at that time. to even
Right.
be able to say that that's what they were dealing with. But when I look at the dynamics of, how they care for my kids and how they, never neglected anything, I can't give a reply to that.
Mm. Okay. And the last and final question for the evening. Any advice for fathers or young fathers of the world? Now you can
Um,
say it.
Young fathers, um, stay acclimated in your children's lives. To my be omnipresent, be everything. Um, Make sure that your love is undying and that they get an opportunity to see a better version of you than you've seen in yourself. Um, all the things that you um didn't get or didn't receive from a dad that wasn't, present in your life, give that love there that you wish you had from him to that child, and give all the love that you received from a man who was in your life from the beginning, whenever he came in, and give that love also. And you possibly could be the best dad that you can be. For fathers who are going through the struggle of seeing their children or being a part of their children's lives, fight. I'm talking about fight to the end. I'm talking about fight through the court system and all. Because even if you don't come out victorious in the court system, one thing you will always be able to do is pull a receipt to show your child when that child come to you and say, "Dad, why didn't you fight for me?" You can say, "Hold on, baby, I got something for you. Your dad went to court. Your dad fought. The court system said this. The court system said that. Your mama said this. Your mama said that. And this is why I wasn't acclimated in your life as much as I tried to be and wanted to be, because these were the blocks that prevented it. But let's move on past that, because now you're at an age to where we can definitely build together and nothing can stop us now. But if you do not fight, your kids will hold a resentment in their heart, because the man that they wanted to be Superman was handled by a measly little woman and a court system that said no. Make sure you get the receipts, baby.
Well, that concludes our interview, and I want to thank you, Mr. Legacy the Great, for being such an awesome person on the show tonight. Your questions was very profound and um, great advice and great information for other fathers. And again, I just want to say thank you. And for the viewers out there, I appreciate you all for tuning in tonight and watching our show. Like I said, this was a last minute thing. It was a surprise. And I got a few fathers to just jump aboard and join me. Starting at 7 o'clock with Kelby Clark, 8 o'clock with Mello, and 8:30 Legacy the Great. I got to just check my messages to see if anybody chimed in and want to come on a little later. But we're doing these messages, and like I said, I personally want to showcase, uplift, and honor some great, awesome Black fathers that I have seen in my life and around me as friends, as brothers, brothers from another mothers. And like I said, I want to display them and let you all know that they do exist. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what you heard, but they do exist. And
I
again, like
want
I
to. Let me say something right quick, bro. I want to give a shout out to Christopher Williams, Ezra Pugh, Salah Pugh, what's that? Calvary Pugh, their father, DeAndre Jackson, Chris Thurston, um, Jatavius Allen, who else?
your
These
barber,
are who?
your barber.
Yeah, Marcus Hill, um, I want to just, uplift them as well as you're saying, as being able to be those dads that we always thrive to be. Um, Also a shout out to Mr. Wick for definitely being a great father to his son too. Um, and to all the dads, the ones that are heard and unheard. And for the fathers that are out there that have not been there, uh, it's not too late. You still living, and you have an opportunity. Let me also, even though I already shouted out my brother Mello, Melvin Simmons, Jr., as a great father as well. But for those fathers that haven't been in their kids' lives, if you still got breath in your body, make amends. Try to fix it, and try to be in their lives, and ask them for forgiveness, and let them see if they'll let you in. Even if right now the answer is no, keep coming, keep coming. God will break the ice and make it available, because that's what He intended for children to have fathers in their lives. And go ahead and understand that you may not have been the best dad, but you may be an even better grandfather than you could have ever been a dad. And that's all I got to say.
I hear you. Well, again, I thank you. I
Oh,
appreciate you.
my bad. Darren, my brother Darren, and Chuck Dog too. Great dads.
Okay. Well, again,
Um, Go ahead.
definitely, I want to remind everybody, definitely tune in on Tuesday and Thursday evenings for the ATL show, a division of the Anthony Brown show. Tuesday nights, we're at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On Thursdays, we're 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So definitely tune in on those nights. Also, we'll be starting a new show real soon. It's going to be around noonish, lunchtime. It's going to be called Lunchtime with the Legacy. So you definitely want to tune into that. So it'll be almost daily. Whenever he's on lunch, busy, because he's a big time executive now, got his own office and stuff. So whenever he has time to squeeze us in and pencil us in, we'll have lunch with the legacy and shoot the breeze and see what's going on various topics or whatever. Sometimes it may not be a topic. We just be having time, just casual conversation, and you'll be able to join in on the conversation with us. You know what I'm saying? So definitely tune in. And that's why we say hit your notification bell so that you'll be notified every time we go live.
Definitely, we're gonna definitely make lunchtime fun. We may go depending on what topics are out there that we really feel or deem need to be talked about real quick to get y'all alert on what's going on. We definitely have things going on far as with reelected, soon to be reelected President Donald Trump. Um, Sorry ass Joe Biden. What's going on with the case with Miss Fannie Willis, and also what's going on with the judge. Will he be? These are some topics that we definitely gonna expound on.
You had 30 minutes.
But that was 30 minutes. Just get me up off of this thing, bro. Since you want to make me act ugly up on here now, just hurry and get me up off here.